Perhaps you're wondering what a white guy is doing talking about a black hero. I think that's the point for me. And of the couple of things I'd like to share with you today, that's one of them. We all have a temptation and a vulnerability in every country on earth, in every culture on earth. There's this powerful impulse to be tribal and just pull back for your patterns, behaviors, and heroes are all just from me and my tribe. I think it's important for us to have heroes and role models outside our tribe to teach us things. No one group, even one as great as my own tribe and group, has everything. We all are hungry for things to fill us out, to complement and complete us, to give us things to aspire to be better than we were. And in America's kind of sad, at least often sad, history of racial divide, it's good for us to have heroes from other groups and tribes. And Dr. King is one of mine. And I'd like to tell you why. For one thing, what gave his movement such power was that it was not based on force or threats. It was not based on the sword, or worse yet, the barrel of a gun. It was a moral movement. It was a persuasive movement. And it was based on the idea, which actually is America's founding idea, that every person inherently has dignity and worth. And his powerful lines, if some of us aren't free, then none of us is free. We aren't all free until we're all free, until we are all true citizens. Powerful ideas, and he is right. This is what inspires me to enjoy this annual observance, because it was a movement of persuasion, of nonviolence. And all too often, especially as we Americans seek to exert some leadership in the world, we think first of our military, and that should be a last resort. The power of ideas, and especially you and I as Christians, the power of ideas to demonstrate the radical notion, to come all the way back to creation and say all people were created by the Lord. Everyone was paid for and redeemed by Jesus Christ on the cross, and everyone is the object of God's mercy and love. This is a heartbeat that I hope that we can continually feel in our own insides and re-engage with on an annual basis. Another thing that I really appreciate about Dr. King was that he led, as a coalition, he led many different groups together, and he found a way to bring people together. And his legacy, ironically, bigger now after his death than before, has kind of been cemented by the fact that he lost his life in the midst of his campaign. And that gave such power to his ideas, because suddenly and abruptly it was stopped. Ironically, the person who hated him enough to try to kill him had the same indirect result that Judas Iscariot did by betraying Christ. He actually guaranteed that that Jesus would be bigger after his death than before. And Dr. King, by dying right in the middle of his civil rights work, and the fact that he lost his life in pursuit of dignity and equality of peoples in America, made sure that his ideas, instead of being smothered or pushed away or swept under the rug for another generation, actually became all the more well known. And what a bitter irony that the attempt to silence him actually became a loudspeaker, became a megaphone for his ideas. I hope that you don't let this day just slide by and it's just either a nothing day, or maybe it's a day off of work or a day off of school. But our country needs to rededicate itself to that concept, because we still are a tribal country in danger of fracturing into a bunch of pieces. And the idea of nonviolence and of bringing people together is more relevant and more important than ever. And in many parts of the world, we can see violence and hatred exploding into even outright civil wars as the tribes clash against each other. This might be something that America still has to share with the world. On top of it all, of course, is the Christian idea that all are created equally by the Lord. All are loved equally. All have equally been redeemed and had their sins forgiven. And all are gifted and equipped with the Holy Spirit when you come to faith. And everybody, every group, every tribe has something valuable and important to contribute to the skill set and power and strength and reach of the family of God, the Holy Christian Church on earth. I hope you enjoy this King Day with me. For Time of Grace, I'm Pastor Mark Jeske.